I would like to call upon Mr. Abhishek Dutta, architect Abhishek Dutta, on stage now. The topic is development in the name of environment. Abhishek Dutta founded Arcon Design along with his partner, architect Susweta, after winning a professional design competition while still at college. He was recognized amongst the top 50 next gen, iGen Indian architects by Architects and Interiors India magazine. Abhishek believes for design excellence, a continuous dialogue between academic research and professional practices is essential, and these dialogues must percolate freely beyond the narrow domains of design into the realms of engineering technology to economics, from psychology to philosophy, from management and leadership to spirituality and everywhere else. He envisions architects' role far beyond merely designer of spaces, but as designers of lives of all living souls connected with the supreme consciousness. A dear friend, please put your hands together for Abhishek. Thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. I was wondering that whether my speech has to be finished before the introduction. So, is it going to change automatically or do I have to put some button? You have an amazing software, by the way. It just went on like crazy. Fantastic. So, the topic development in the name of environment, and every time that we see these terms like development and environment and all, these are very hackneyed terms. No one wants to read the definition, so I'll skip that. But in terms of development, it's basically a multi-stakeholder game. Whenever there is a development, there are a lot of stakeholders. If you ask a developer to develop it in a certain way, the old age person will ask something, the kids will ask for something, the traffic engineer, the landscape architect, urban planner, everybody has their say on any sort of development. And this relationship between developments are quite complicated. They have different kind of stakeholder circles, and each and every stakeholder has different domain. They have an interplay of different ideologies, and each and everyone actually wants to maximize the interest, their self-interest into it. It's like that problem of traffic jam, for instance. Each one of us driving a car wishes that had the other person taken a bus, my journey would have been smoother. So this is the typical thing that is called a tragedy of the common. That you all know, there is a carrying capacity of nature. Up to that level where the nature can actually take the toll, everything that you do is okay. But beyond a certain limit, if you keep on looking at your own narrow interest, it becomes difficult for each and every one of us. And there is an economic term. We all keep talking about sustainability and the green building and all these things. There is this economical term which is called the marginal social benefit. It's like booking a 5-seater cab for your journey. The 5th friend of yours is practically coming for free. If you had 4, 1 is added, no cost added. But if there is a 6th friend of yours who is coming into play, then you have to book a 7-seater car instead of 5. So that becomes the marginal cost, the cost difference between the 5-seater car and the 7-seater car. So same kind of thing is called marginal cost for social difference. The problem with development is most of the social cost does not reflect in the balance sheet of the developer or the stakeholders wherever there is a project cost being calculated. And the authorities and the controllers have the challenging task of balancing that A and B, the cost and the associated expenses. But not everything has to be in the same direction. Architecture as a tool of development can become insurance for preservation of environment instead of going against it. One can think of thoughtful landscape design. Even a corporate office complex, it can create a social good. Social good is like a thing that if you paint your building with a new color, your neighbors are going to enjoy it better than yourself. But if the same thing happens, if your neighbor puts a bucket of water and mosquito breeds there, you are also going to suffer. That's social bad. So this social good can be created at a zero marginal cost if you just put your head onto proper thing. This is, by the way, a fantastic design by Anuradha, who is sitting over here. In every aspect, the small or big project that one gets, one can try to incorporate as little as possible towards a little bit of seeds here and there in different kind of projects. And as you keep on growing, you understand sometimes almost doing nothing can lead to a different kind of environmental impact for the zone that you are doing. In most of the cases, we all sensible architects would do is to preserve all the trees that you get on a site. In many cases, we find those elements actually complements and completes one's design. In many cases, the tree which is central, you can't grow a tree from a hole like this, but you can create a hole through which a tree can grow, and it can be really beautiful. In some cases, the constraint of having a lot of trees within your site, and if you build around this, it can create a different genre of design altogether. And in every cases, as you try to incorporate the social changes and give little bit of good things for your projects, your scope slowly, gradually develops, and you get chance sometimes to do minimum intervention and put in some seed for maximum positive impact for the society as large. There are certain times when very minimalistic design, just in case putting a iron jali in front of a vat, which is a garbage disposal area, that can radically change the aesthetic look as well as the interference of the urban context. And many times these costs are very, very nominal. If you just think positively, that things can improve dramatically without giving a lot of effort, and it can be really a vibrant space in the urban scape. In some cases, if you are asked to do a boundary wall, like in this case, there was a boundary wall needed, and that wall had a lot of encroachment because those encroachers were using the wall as their backdrop. What we did on this thing, and we have a lot of trees. Had we gone for a standardized boundary wall, one could have easily cut down 3-4 trees. And because of the trees, we created this free-flowing stuff, which also went in hand with the name Gangetica. This free-flowing gate actually made into an interesting design platform. And not only always that nature and environment comes as a constraint, sometimes the elements of nature can also be the inspiration for your designs. But in some cases, you understand where nature needs zero interventions. You don't need to intervene anything. In some cases, we can find nature to a natural way to bridge the gap between development and environment by choosing to do nothing. Because sometimes the toughest thing is to do nothing and make a real impact. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I would like to call upon Architect Nishant Gupta to felicitate. Thank you. On stage. Thank you. Thank you very much.